Okay, so before we move on to the next pitfall, we just wanted to highlight a few first principles of discrimination. Some of them have already been covered. Adverse effect discrimination, which is also known as indirect discrimination or constructive discrimination, is the type of discrimination that honestly I think I've dealt with more than I'm not going to hire you because. It's more, this is the group of cases where there is a policy or a rule which applies to everybody, and it seems to be neutral, but then in application, it affects a certain employee or group of employees negatively. So in my work with the National Council of Canadian Muslims previously, this was most of the cases that we were dealing with. So for instance, as a quick example, a young Muslim woman who wore the hijab entered into a training program to be a prison guard, a correctional officer, and got, 3/4 of the way through the training program and then was told that there was a rule against headgear. Because of safety concerns. So safety is one of those issues that is going to be very commonly brought up when it comes to the duty to accommodate, when it comes to uniform issues, and in my experience, faith-based requests for accommodation. So there is a rule that seems to be neutral, but then it impacts individuals negatively because of a prohibited ground of discrimination. The other two highlights before we move on that I would make is that the focus of the analysis when it comes to human rights is impact as opposed to intent. So as Susan said, the employer, your client may take offense to the fact that you're suggesting that they are being discriminatory because they never meant to be discriminatory. But you need to shift the focus and the discussion to the impact of the rule or the conduct or the comment, as opposed to the intent behind it, because that at the end of the day is irrelevant when it comes to a human rights analysis.